Hey guys, Foxdrop here with a champion guide for Volibear jungle. In my top underrated junglers video, you guys expressed your desire to see the cute, fluffy teddy bear get his own guide, so here we are. As with the other videos of this kind, this is being made in partnership with ProGuides, a website which, as the name would suggest, gives you quality resources for being a better League player. Volibear is an extremely simple champion to play who excels at being ridiculously big and hard to shove out of the way. He has some effective ganks early game and transitions into team fights fairly efficiently, taking on that tanky disruptor role. Despite being oppressively tanky, a few good solid bear slaps allows Volibear to be a real threat to enemy carries as well. He's a great champion to play if you're looking for an effective, simple, tanky fighter. If you enjoyed this guide, don't forget to leave a like down below and feel free to leave me questions or suggestions in the comments as well. After all, this guide was brought to life thanks to your suggestions. But firstly, with the boring stuff, your runes on Volibear will look something like this. Pretty standard stuff to help him beat up not only the jungle, but also other players too. Masteries, you want to get 18 points in Resolve for Strength of the Ages, as Volibear is primarily a tank and scales well with having lots of health. I personally like to spread the rest of the points between Ferocity and Cunning, as you're seeing here, but it really doesn't matter what you do. Your item build will want to make Volibear as durable and tanky as possible, so you can pretty much get any tank items you want depending on how the game is going. Stalker's Blade is a great choice as it avoids getting kited too hard going into the Cinderhulk, which will be your core alongside Merc Treads or Swifties to cover your cute little bare feet. Deadman's Plate and Spirit Visage are probably the best armor and MR items as they help you with your move speed and your passive respectively. But like I say, if it makes you tanky, it works with Volley, and if you're looking for an offensive upside, Titanic Hydra will sort you out. If you have abnormally large testicles or an abnormally small brain, you can go for the Devourer Ginzu's build. It's a lot of damage, but not really how Volibear is best designed to be played in my opinion. Anyway, moving on to how you should actually play Volibear. His early game is pretty good, in which he should lean more towards a gank heavy style thanks to his ability to flip players like burgers and then smash them in. Volley is kinda unique in the way that he doesn't have to be too afraid of strong enemy bullies such as Elise and Nidalee. Yes, they may pose a threat to him, but his passive makes him essentially invincible in a 1v1 situation, so he's usually fine. There isn't really too much to say about Volley's ganks, just make sure you don't use your Q too early for the move speed so that it expires before you can flip someone when you reach them. Mid-game, he will have his core items on board and be pretty bloody strong. The way Volibear smothers teamfights is as simplistically poetic as the way Nutella smothers a slightly crispy slice of toast. He should look to charge in the back line, soaking up as much harm away from your allies as possible. If he's able to get onto the enemy carries and is left alone, he'll tear them to pieces. But Volibear can struggle with getting kited, so if against a particularly slippery foe, you may want to dip in and out rather than dedicating and getting kited and dying. At this point, you'll be hard pressed to find any enemy that can 1v1 Volibear at all, especially not one that can do it in any timely manner. But this doesn't mean that Volibear is the king of 1v1s either. He doesn't really have the damage to make it happen too quickly, but give him a few years and eventually he'll come out on top. Late game, Volibear is such an immovable object that you'd think you would have to get exalted with the Frost Wolves just to play him. Sadly though, the later the game goes on, the harder it is for Volibear to operate as he loses that 1v1 potential and people start being able to deal with him better. Specifically, the squishy AD carries you so easily preyed upon before now become legitimate threats with their full late game builds. Whereas they become a bit tougher to handle, flash flipping enemy carries can be a really effective way to catch them out of position and set up an easy win teamfight for your team. Peeling for your own carries as well can also be a good idea here, and whereas you aren't the best at it, you still have that flip and you still have that slow. And honestly, that's really all I gotta say about Volibear. He's a really simple champion to play and doesn't require any specific mechanical prowess. That said, if you do have any questions about him that you want answering, feel free to leave them down below in the comments and I'll get around to answering as many as I can. Shout out to ProGuides who helped me make this video and help me pump out more quality content for you guys. If you want to check them out and catch their top-notch guides or become a better League player, I'll put a link to them in the description. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video guys, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to go check me out on Facebook, on Twitter, and catch me streaming over at twitch.tv/Foxdrop. All of those links are in the description, but most importantly, have a wonderful day and thank you again for watching, and I'll see you in my next video.